A lot of people think lighting, ironically, is a dark art. Like there's some kind of secret formula. 3 lights positioned at exactly 45 degrees, color temperature at 5600 Kelvin, diffusion panels, bounce boards, the whole broadcast TV kit and caboodle. And what happens if you don't have all of that? Don't bother, it'll look amateur. That is rubbish, and I'm going to prove it to you in the next 8 minutes, because here's what actually happens when you wait for the perfect lighting setup. You don't start. You bookmark a YouTube tutorial about 3-point lighting. You add a ring light to your Amazon basket. You tell yourself, I'll do video properly when I've got all the gear sorted. Meanwhile, your competitors who are filming next to a window with a desk lamp are the ones who are building authority. They're the ones landing clients and filling their pipelines. Bad lighting won't kill your business, but waiting for perfect lighting will. So in this video, I'm going to show you why the ancient scrolls of lighting don't exist. The one principle that matters more than any technical setup, and the exact lighting rig I use to make people look like they're in a broadcast studio just using a window and a desk lamp. I've lit shoots for the BBC, ITV, Netflix. I've worked with lighting directors who've spent 30 years perfecting their craft, and I'm here to tell you, you don't need any of that. You need one principle, and I'm going to give it to you right now. And by the way, if you're a course creator or a coach and you've been putting off video because you're overwhelmed by all the technical stuff, I've built something just for you. It's called Video Unlocked, and it's a free course that walks you through the confidence side of getting on camera. No gear chat, no tech jargon. It's just how do you press record without overthinking it. The link to that is in the description below. So grab it now whilst I walk you through some of the lighting setup. So then, the ancient scrolls, that's what I call the traditional lighting tutorials that you see everywhere online. You know the ones. They show you a diagram, 3 lights arranged in a triangle, key light here, fill light there, backlight over there, exact distances, exact angles, exact bulb wattages. And if you're watching that as someone who's never done video before, it feels like, right, so I need to spend $2,000 on lights, learn trigonometry and turn my office into a film set. Cool, I'll just not do video then. And that is the problem, because the ancient scrolls approach treats lighting like it's maths, like there's one correct answer. But lighting isn't maths. Lighting, honestly, is feeling. And once you understand that, everything gets a lot easier. So let me tell you a little story. When I was a camera assistant, so this is a long time ago, I'm learning the ropes, I'm trying to figure out how all of this works. I used to think there were some kind of mythical scrolls that you had to consult to learn everything there is to know about lighting. I genuinely thought it was like a Jedi mission, you know, like when Luke goes off to train with Yoda. I thought that's what learning about lighting was, some mystic art that you had to disappear into the wilderness to learn. And I used to work a lot with this fantastic lighting cameraman called Chris Dingley, and I was amazed by how he worked. He'd walk into a space, first time, any space, it didn't matter, and within seconds, he's giving me a list of lights to get out of the van, telling me where to put the stands and what diffusion to use. Just like instant. He could see the light before it existed. And I'm just watching him do this thinking, wow, there must be a system. There must be some kind of formula that he's following. So one day, over a cup of coffee during a break, I plucked up the courage and I said to him, so Chris, what do you think the secret is of good lighting? And so I'm on the edge of my seat, tenderhooks, expecting some golden nuggets of sage lighting advice to come plopping out of his mouth. He thinks for a second, he looks a bit perplexed, and then he says, you just kind of waft them about until they look right. That was it. No master plan, no ancient scrolls, no appealing to the lighting showbiz gods. You just waft them about until they look right. Thanks, Chris. And that was the moment that I realized there are no scrolls. It really is just a case of getting your hands dirty and doing it and practicing, getting it wrong, practicing until eventually you can be like Chris and waft the lights around until they look amazing. But before I go any further, let me be absolutely crystal clear about something. Lighting is an art, a genuine, dense, complex art. If you look at DPs like Roger Deakins, the guy who shot Blade Runner 2049 in 1917, or directors like Ridley Scott, you realise just how deep this subject goes. The way they use light to tell a story, the way they sculpt shadows and control mood, that is a lifetime of study, that's mastery. And I'm not denigrating that. I'm not saying that lighting doesn't matter or that anyone can do what Roger Deakins does, But here's the thing, for what we want, for business video, for authority building, for showing your expertise on LinkedIn or YouTube, the wafting about light method is fine. You don't need to be lit by filmmaking royalty like Roger Deakins to look credible on camera. You just need to not look like you're being filmed in a cave, that's all. And the danger is this. If you look at the art of lighting, the textbooks, the masterclasses, the decades of expertise, it can seem so impenetrable that it's frankly easier just to ignore it all and not start making video at all. And that's the trap I'm trying to help you avoid. So here's the lesson, and this frankly applies to everything in video, by the way, not just lighting. You're waiting for the right way to do it, the official method, the expert system. But the expert system for your purposes is this: try it, see what it looks like, adjust it, try it again. That's it. There's no secret formula for business lighting. You need two things: clarity without harshness, warmth without muddiness. And if you achieve that by wafting it around until it looks right, you don't need to know the technical terms. You don't need a degree in cinematography. You just need to look at yourself on camera and think, do I look like someone I trust? And if the answer's no, if you look washed out or shadowy or like you're being interrogated, then adjust the lighting. You move the light, you change the angle, you waft. And that's where the window and lamp setup comes in. Because if Chris Dingley can light a broadcast TV set by wafting a few professional lights around, you can light your home office by wafting a desk lamp around. So here's how you do it. Step one, position yourself 45 degrees from a window, not directly facing the window, that will blow you out. Not with your back to the window, that will make you look like a silhouette and make you look like you've done something naughty. 45 degrees, so the window light hits one side of your face. Then get a desk lamp. Doesn't need to be fancy, just a standard desk lamp, but, and this matters, put a warm bulb in it. Not daylight white, warm white, around 3000K if you want to be technical, but honestly, just look at the box and pick warm. Position the lamp on the opposite side from the window. So if the window's hitting the left side of your face and the lamp goes on the right or the other way around. And here's where the wafting part comes in. Don't aim the lamp directly at your face because that's too harsh. That's like interrogation lighting. Instead, angle it past your face so the light spills onto you, wafting into the shadows. You're not blasting yourself with light, you're filling in the dark bits. Look at the monitor, waft it about until the light looks right. If one side's too bright, move the lamp back a bit. If it's too shadowy, move it forward. If it feels too cold, swap to a warmer bulb. You're not measuring, you're wafting. It's organic. And once you've found that sweet spot, that's your setup, done. Total cost, let's say $70 if you need to buy the lamp. No dollars if you've already got the lamp. And listen, if you're sat there thinking, okay then, that's lighting sorted, but I still have no idea what to actually say on camera. That is exactly what Video Unlocked is for. It's the free course that I talked about earlier. It walks you through the whole confidence piece, how to stop overthinking, how to just press record and start building your trust library. And the link to that is in the description, so make sure you grab that, it's free. So you've got the lighting sorted. You look like the authority that you are, but if you're an IFA, an accountant or a wealth manager, anyone who is in a regulated industry, there's one more thing that could stand in your way, and that is compliance. Because I know what you're thinking. Yeah, video sounds great, Jeremy, but I work in financial services. I can't just say whatever I want on camera because the FCA will shut me down. And you're right to be cautious, but here's what most people don't know. Compliance isn't the barrier. Actually, it's a framework. And once you understand the framework, once you know what you can and can't say, video becomes the most powerful client acquisition tool you've got, because your competitors, they're terrified of compliance. So they're not doing video at all, which means the market's wide open for anyone brave enough to actually press record. So in the next video in the series, I'm going to show you the 3-layer framework that keeps you safe. How to talk about client outcomes without giving personal advice, and the exact process we use to get financial advisor videos FCA approved in under 48 hours. Watch that next, because if compliance is a thing stopping you, this video will remove that roadblock. I hope this was useful. If it was, hit subscribe. I'm building a full series here that takes you from I'm overwhelmed by video to finally I've got a system that works. And if you're a course creator or a coach who just needs permission to start, Video Unlocked is it. Free, link is in the description. See you in the next one. Take care.